Do you know that there exists one of the healthiest juices in the world that can become dangerous with the addition of the wrong ingredient? Many people begin their day with their heads held high. They squeeze a fresh beet juice, put the juice into a glass, and think they are nourishing their heart, cleansing their liver, and energizing their body for the day. But what very few people know is that beets have powerful properties, and, like everything powerful, they have to be treated with respect. Within this ordinary-looking red vegetable lurk elements that can change your circulation, expand your blood vessels, revitalize your liver, and energize your strength. But the same elements can also be very sensitive if they come into contact with the wrong foods. And that's where the quiet problem begins. Thousands of people every day unintentionally prepare combinations of beet juice which can irritate stomachs, promote fermentation, increase levels of oxalate in the body, overload the liver function, obstruct circulation in your veins, and even worse, undo the very nutrients you're trying to take in. The frightening thing is, most of these combinations are actually quite healthy looking. Many have even been published in many healthy cooking recipe books as popular juice combinations, healthy diets and social media sites, or even advised through word of mouth from people who love to share healthy ideas to health-focused people. But not today. I'll explain in the video 7 beet juice combinations, which should never see the inside of your juicer or blender, including one which may actually put your health in serious danger if you're over 50, kidney or digestive problems. Far more importantly, I will also demonstrate in this video how to take beet juice safely in order to reap health rewards from this miraculous liquid content to effectively support your heart health, liver health, circulation health, as well as your levels. Combination number 1. Beet juice and lemon juice mixed together. One of the most common errors made by those attempting juicing is mixing too much lemon juice in a juice cocktail. This is where the healthiness comes into play, correct? Vitamin C, refreshing, and cleansing. Where does the problem start? In fact, it begins with the level of the lemon juice mixed together with natural compounds found within raw beetroot. The pH balance within the liquid cocktail changes instantly as these natural compounds from lemons react with those from beetroots. This becomes particularly damaging for many elderly patients experiencing problems with their sensitive stomach or suffering from conditions like acid reflux and gastritis. Expect heartburn or nausea minutes thereafter, ignoring that the problem might not lie with the juice itself, as many believe, but within the sour properties of the lemon itself. The bigger problem arises from how this affects many beneficial properties found within raw beetroots for optimizing blood development and blood flow throughout your vital arteries and veins. These properties and minerals derived from plant iron aren't likely when exposed to the excessive acidity derived from lemons, particularly if you follow traditional methods and procedures that directly influence resistance for proper internal absorption and utilization throughout your system for normal bodily functions and operations as expected from those following healthy and nutritious lifestyles. In essence, the result goes from increasing energy levels and increasing blood flow as intended, simply offering lounginess or faintness moments thereafter. This arises due to too much stress on your digestive system, as your whole body becomes overwhelmed due to excessive acidity stimulated throughout your insides because of excessive lemon usage, particularly among most elderly patients experiencing thinning linings in their digestive tracts as expected. From nature for their advanced ages and sensitive digestive tracts and particular bodies designed for normal and typical bodily functions and operations as expected from those following the path on how healthy and nutritious lifestyles are made for their complete and overall protection and safeguarding for their overall and complete and wholesome health and corporeal safety and security as required and expected from their path together expected in this part altogether, as indicated and suggested by its own prescient and predictive pronouncements and pronounces for its appropriate and respective systematic and science-minded implementation and application for their ultimate and complete and overall protection and safeguarding for their respective and overall complete and wholesome health and corporeal safety and security as indicated and suggested by their own systematic and science-minded pronouncements and pronounces for their own ultimate and complete and wholesome protection and safeguarding traditionally and scientifically as indicated and suggested for its appropriate and respective implementifically as indicated and suggested for implementation and application for their complete and overall protection and safeguarding as implementation and application for their complete and overall protection and safeguard indicated and suggested similarly for its ultimate and complete indicated and suggested similarly for wholesome implementation and application for their ultimate and complete and overall protection and wholesome implementation and application for their ultimate safeguarding as indicated and suggested similarly for their systematic and science-minded implementation and application safeguarding as indicated and suggested similarly for their systematic and science-minded implementation and application safeguarding as indicated and suggested similarly for their ultimate and complete and wholesome protection and safeguarding as indicated and suggested similarly for its systematic and science-minded for their ultimate and complete and wholesome protection and safeguarding as indicated implementation and application for their complete and overall protection and safeguarding as indicated and suggested similarly for their systematic and science-minded implementation and application for their ultimate and complete. Combination number 2, beet juice mixed with honey or sugar. It's so typical of people to do this that it's almost the most common mistake, and unfortunately, it's the worst. A lot of people don't enjoy the taste of beetroot, so in this case, they try to sweeten it up using honey, sugar, or sweeteners. It's so innocent sounding. I mean, honey is natural, right? The problem is that as soon as you put honey or sugar into beetroot juice, you're totally ruining the effects it has on the body. Beets naturally contain nitrates that are converted into nitric oxide, which has blood flow and blood pressure lowering properties and boosts endurance and circulation. But the minute you put beetroot juice and honey or sugar in it, it totally wrecks the whole process. What you're basically drinking in that case is something that's going to be bad for blood flow. What you're basically drinking in that case is something that's going to be bad for blood flow. What you're basically drinking in that case is something that's going to be this disadvantage of beetroot juice because that's the main function that people use it for. Instead, what they're going to be consuming is something full of sugar that triggers huge blood sugar and leads to nothing but temporary boosts that beets originally provide to the blood sugar and leads to nothing but temporary body. And this becomes especially troublesome in the case of older adults because the sugar causes inflammation and oxidative stress in the body, especially those who have diabetes or prediabetes and liver disease and metabolic syndrome. Honey, in the body, acts the same way as other sugars because it's still sugar no matter what. It's going to input into the body and lead to increased fat in the liver and crashing from fatigue because your body has to work overtime to process it. And as for the amount of sugar in the body that those who might possibly be at risk of having kidney damage might put in the body, this totally stresses out the kidneys because it has to work overtime to process it when the body doesn't want it to. The best part is that beets naturally contain sugar because they're sweet anyway. And all that's required in this situation is that the body gives the taste buds some time to adjust to the change. The alternative in this case would be to choose the lowest sugar partners that beets could possibly work in harmony with. That's cucumbers or green apples. They contain fiber that the body could possibly rev up into action because the body could possibly yield to the demands that beets place upon it because beets might possibly be bad enough to be good because beets naturally taste sweet anyway. Beetroot juice and sugar don't belong together at any price, because the best way to use it as any sort of remedy in the body is to leave it alone so that it takes the best route to the body and the heart and liver and gives the body what it exactly needs. The third combination of juices is a mix of beet and orange. While, on the face of it, this looks like a health drink, as it involves the mix of two health juices, but for most people, particularly the old and the ones who may be sensitive, a mix of beet and orange juices can prove disastrous. The problem lies in the level of acidity in oranges, which, when reacted with the contents of beetroot, creates a classic fermentation cocktail in the stomach. This implies that the juices begin the process of releasing gas in the stomach, causing bloating and pressure in the stomach. In individuals with gastritis, acid reflux, or IBS, this could happen in an almost immediate fashion. However, digestion isn't the end of the issue here. Oranges have high concentrations of vitamin C. Now, vitamin C is great stuff, but when taken in one beverage, it could prevent the uptake of nitrates, the exact same compound found in beetroot that works so well for improving one's circulation and lowering his/her high blood pressure. If vitamin C were the primary ingredient here, then nitrates would less effectively be converted into nitric oxide. The end result would almost nullify any heart health perk that beetroot juice would offer. This blend also puts additional stress on the older digestive tract. The natural sugars contained both in beets and oranges are easily digested when juiced and without the fibrous cellular structure. They flood the blood. This can cause a rapid rise in blood sugar levels more so than people realize, particularly when seniors are the ones juicing, those dealing with prediabetes, and those with fluctuating blood pressure. If citrus fruits are your thing, it would be much more prudent to have the juice of beets and the juice of oranges at 2 different times of the day, allowing your body time to digest each properly. Beet juice can be had on a mostly empty stomach, but orange juice needs to be consumed earlier in the day, with meals to provide some buffer between the acidity and the digestive tract. Thus, beets and oranges together are simply 2 fruits that do not mix very well. A combination number 4 might be beet juice and vinegar. Even this could be considered an innocent combination. Nonetheless, vinegar appears in detox juices, home remedies, and other health tips. Nevertheless, concerning beetroot juices, adding vinegar to them represents one of the biggest errors that people commit. Beetroot contains pectin and nitrates, which turn into nitric oxide and help open up your blood vessels, enhancing your blood circulation and blood pressure. The only negative thing about vinegar, though, is that it has extremely high acidity. This acidity has the potential to degrade much of your nitrates even before This acidity has the potential to degrade much of your nitrates even before This acidity has extremely high acidity they manage to do any good for your health. This therefore means that you're left with nothing of what actually makes the beetroot juices helpful. But there's also more than that. The high level of acetic acid acidifies the stomach lining. Especially when combined with pure juices, especially among people with reflux, gastric irritation, and sensitive stomachs. Many elderly people, for that matter, experience stinging, nausea, and stomach-sensitive stomachs. Experience fullness or heaviness shortly after the consumption of this combination. Moreover, the presence of these two, especially beetroot that has the capacity to reduce and vinegar that changes the sodium and potassium contents, triggers unusual episodes of dizziness, weakness, and plummeting high-low pressures for people with naturally low pressures. Moreover, among people with failing kidneys, nevertheless, with these extra acids added, your process can be even more adverse, especially due to your expectation that your kidneys must neutralize other substances that were already undesirable to your body anyway. The simplest thing, therefore, that these people ought to do is stick with pure juices. If they wish to make them lighter, they ought to do that by using water or cucumber or even low-acidic juices such as green apple juices. These two, that's vinegar, therefore, aren't health-friendly substances because they're combined. Use this in green apple juices. These two, that's vinegar, therefore, aren't health-friendly substances because they're combined. Salad dressings or in cooking, but do not put this in proximity to drinking beet juice in the morning if you wish to safeguard your stomach, blood pressure, and even the nutritional value which makes beetroot so medicinal. Blend number 5. Beet juice and milk dairy. Some folks may try to mix beet juice together with milk, creating a creamy drink, but this is among the worst blends that can be formed. Some folks may try to mix beet juice together with milk, creating a creamy drink, but this is among the worst blends that can be formed. Some folks may try to mix beet juice together. On the surface, it seems harmless. Beets work for vitamins, milk works for proteins. But after it's processed through your system, the consequences become disastrous. The problem all begins at the protein-acid reaction. Through your system, the consequences. Beetroot is known to be acidic, and the moment the juice comes in contact with the proteins in milk, this results in the production of curds. But this process doesn't occur like when making yogurt, slowly. Instead, it happens suddenly within your digestive tract. Instead, it happens suddenly within your digestive tract. But this process doesn't occur like. What's next? You get heavy-duty digestion, fermentation, and discomfort like burps, gases, heartburn, or having a heavy stone within your digestive tract, all occurring for several hours. But it's not even finished. Milk requires a special process within your digestive tract, and this particular veg activates the release of too much acid, which in turn slows down digestion. So what ends up happening is your body can't process either substance efficiently. What happens instead? You can only acquire minimal calcium supplements within the milk or minimal vitamins within the beetroot juice. Instead, this has become the worst-case scenario because your aim for making this smoothie for good health ends up delivering the exact opposites. Especially those diagnosed with issues within the digestive tract, especially if after your 50th birthday, your digestions. Especially those diagnosed with issues within the digestive tract, especially if after your 50th birthday, your digestions. Especially those diagnosed with issues within the digestive tract, especially if after your 50th birthday, your digestions. Especially those diagnosed with issues within the digestive tract, especially if after your 50th birthday, your digestive tract's performance has gradually become slower, making it far too painful for this combination. Additionally, this has become unhealthy for the liver because this juice increases the functioning levels within your nitric oxide, or circulates your blood. Milk makes this particular juice even slower, like concrete, going through your tract. But this doesn't even make your liver functionally sound because it has become even harder now to filter out your ailment-producing components within your milk or your juice. Increased levels of inflammation happen instead, surprisingly making your reflux even worse. If your liver is injured, or your digestive tract has become even slower, or your history shows issues of reflux, this can never happen. Or your digestive tract has become even slower, or your history shows issues of reflux. Instead, if a creamy form of your juice be want ye, alternatives have become available. Vegetables like coconut water help. Instead, if a creamy form of your juice be want ye, alternatives have become available. Vegetables like coconut water help your liquids be replenished, and it's good for your electrolytes too. You can mix it with your beets since there's no conflict. Cucumber brings up your liquids be replenished, and it's good for your electrolytes too. You can mix it with your beets since there's no conflict. Cucumber brings up your liquids be replenished, and it's good for your electrolytes too. You can mix it with your beets since there's no conflict. Cucumber brings up your liquids be replenished, and it's good for your electrolytes too. You can mix it with your beets, smoothness and an element of freshness, as well as aiding in renal and liver cleanses. Each of these works synergistically in that it helps smoothness and an element of fresh helps your body work more, not harder. Dairy products do not go unnoted. However, they do not belong in beet juice. Helps your body work more, not harder. Dairy products do not go unnoted. Combination 6. Beet juice and spinach juice together. Beets and spinach juices are very nutritious separately, and many people juice both to supercharge their juice. But putting these two juices together creates a biochemical issue that your kidneys and bones will resent. Beets and spinach juices are both very high in oxalates, natural compounds found in plants that readily bind to calcium, magnesium, and iron. When ingested in large quantities or combined, oxalates outpace your body's processing capacity to eliminate oxalates. The problem: kidney stones. Oxalates in your beet juice and oxalates from your spinach juice bind to calcium in your kidneys, forming calcium oxalate crystals. This is the most common form and also the most excruciating when people with kidney problems, mild dehydration, or even low magnesium levels experience it. This combination easily puts your body in a state of high oxalate ovation, or even low magnesium levels experience it. This combination easily puts your body in a state of high oxalate ovation, or even low magnesium levels experience it. Overload. There's an immediate problem with oxalates binding to other nutrients, making it harder to assimilate those nutrients. With oxalates binding to calcium and iron, your body will find it harder to assimilate these nutrients. Thus, your juice combination gives you the opposite effect of supercharging your juice. The truth is, your body will assimilate fewer nutrients, and your digestive system will find it harder to eliminate oxalates. Eventually, your bones will be weakened, anemia will worsen, or your fatigue or muscle weakness will increase, and your digestive system will find it harder to eliminate oxalates. Eventually, your bones will be weakened, anemia will worsen, or your fatigue increase. Persons with IBS, gastritis, or low stomach acids will be particularly susceptible to these problems. High oxalate juices move very rapidly through your body. Persons with weakened kidney juice clearance in their senior years will find themselves at high risks of high oxalate buildup. This doesn't mean spinach isn't good food or that beetroot consumption should be avoided. What it means is that these two foods should never be juiced at the same time. If your goal is to consume leafy vegetables with beet juice, consider the following options instead of spinach: kale, mint leaves, celery leaves, and romaine. If your aim is to consume lots of spinach, consider preparing them at a different time. Your kidneys are always working overtime. This is not a combination that should be battled. Combination number 7, beet juice and carrot juice. This pair of vegetables looks like the ultimate team player. Two healthy roots that are radiantly colored and are a great addition in juicing, and cleansing drinks. Both vegetables on their own are better than some prescription medications. When mixed and concentrated, the two vegetables present a peaceful terror that your kidney, liver, and blood sugar cannot possibly handle. Both of the vegetables belonging to this combined juicing are oxalated vegetables, which are healthy on their own. However, the amount of oxalated elements present in these vegetables is higher than you can possibly handle. When these vegetables are mixed in juicing, the oxalated components mix with the calcium, forming kidney stones that are radiantly colored and silently building up until the pain comes on strong. The second problem is blood sugar impact. Both beets and carrots have naturally occurring sugars. When you juice beetroot, you extract the fiber, which serves as a natural slowdown for the absorption of the natural sugars, causing a quick impact on the bloodstream. For people with insulin resistance, prediabetes, fatty liver, or a slow metabolic rate, it may cause a dramatic rise in blood glucose, followed by lethargy, cravings, and inflammation. This, in turn, will make it more challenging to regulate blood sugar levels, further exacerbating a person's metabolic problems. Some people may also experience discomfort in the bowel following this juice. Without the fiber to naturally slow down the absorption of the natural sugar and oxalate, it will ferment quickly in the bowel, causing bloating, gas, and bowel discomfort. Senior citizens with a sluggish digestion process or lower production of stomach acid will be more likely to experience this. Once more, the veggies aren't the problem. It is the juice cocktail. Each root veggie is a healthy addition to a balanced diet when cooked separately on alternate days. But to extract them together on a regular basis is to pack too much sugar, too many oxalates, and too much fiber into an amount your body isn't meant to handle. There's an easy way to do it better. First, if you are juicing beets today, don't mix it with the carrot. And if you are wanting the carrot juice, have it alone, or in combination with low oxalate and low sugar ingredients such as cucumber or a piece of green apple. That way, you can do your kidneys a favor and your blood sugar levels, as well as reap the nutritional benefits of each of those vegetables without mixing them in the same drink. How to drink beet juice effectively. With all those combinations in mind that neutralize beet's amazing healing properties, I'd like to move forward and share with you some effective ways to drink this juice. Drinking beet juice is one of the most effective ways to stimulate blood flow and enhance energy, reduce liver problems, and lower blood pressure. However, this is only possible when you prepare and consume this juice properly. You're doing two things wrong in this process. You're taking too much of this juice, and you're also using improper ingredients in this juice. Your body doesn't require this massive detox process. What it needs is this amount in this quantity and at this time, and this is exactly what I'd like to emphasize in this section. The first thing is to take this juice in its appropriate dose. That is, 1 medium beet a day is all that's required. Beets contain huge quantities of natural nitrates in them. These nitrates convert into nitric oxides in their function and help enhance blood flow and reduce blood pressure. Taking too much of this can be toxic to your kidneys and even make you dizzy or nauseous in some cases. Taking 1 medium beet or its juice is all that is required. That is, extracts ranging between 100 to 120 milliliters. Secondly, drink it straight. No sugar, no sweetener. Beet juice will not work as effectively on blood sugar. Refined sugar, honey, or healthy sweeteners will raise blood sugar, which will reduce the potency of nitric oxide. Your body will easily assimilate these nutrients when the taste isn't sugar-coated. If this natural taste feels overpowering, mix it with cucumber, celery, or an apple slice. These are gentle substances that aid digestion without destroying its potency. Number 3, drink it with an empty, light stomach. The ideal time will be in the morning or 30 minutes before lunch. When your stomach is light, the conversion of nitric oxide works better, digestion moves easily, and energizing properties are more prominent. An example of something you should not do with beet juice is drinking it right after eating. When your stomach works slowly, it hinders the activation time of nutrients. 4. Fresh is best. Don't hold on to it for a long time. Beet juices begin the oxidation process in a matter of minutes. If you store the juices, they can begin fermenting after 12-24 hours. The best source of nitric oxide, a great betaine for the liver, and the best antioxidants come from fresh juices that you make and extract in a matter of 10-15 minutes. 5. Sip slowly. Don't gulp. The juice of a beetroot isn't a cocktail to gulp down. In fact, it's a use-oriented drug. Taking juice slowly will allow your body to process a steady supply of nitrates from your food. The benefits of slow consumption of beet juice are particularly noticeable in senior individuals. Your body's reaction to blood pressure will become smoother. Number 6, rotate it. Do not drink the same juice daily. Variety is a great way for your kidneys, liver, and digestive system. You can alternate beet juice with the following low oxalate juices such as celery, cucumber, or leafy vegetables. Drinking beet juice in the right way, pure, moderate, fresh, and in harmony with the rain. Beet juice is also one of the most dramatic health habits you can start your day off with. It will increase circulation, help your liver function positively in your body, increase your energy levels, and help your heart function even more efficiently. But as you've learned today, it's not only important to start this habit, it's also important to start it off right. The wrong combination could result in fermentation, stomach upset, poor absorbency, or even an increase in kidney stones. The correct combination is what takes an ordinary plant and turns it into an extraordinary remedy. So when you make beet juice in the future, just remember, pure, fresh, simple. 1 beet per day, done right, done safely. So let this juice help your body in the way it's originally intended to. If today's video helped you realize an error in your daily habits you didn't even realize you were committing, please go ahead and like this video. Not only is it an encouragement to this channel to continue uploading helpful health videos to your daily routine, it also tells YouTube that learning about health as seniors is important. Share this video with someone who drinks beet juice every day. You could prevent something silent from happening. Leave your combination in the comments below and what you will change starting today. And don't forget to subscribe to Senior Guide so you aren't missed out on an important health